So we're coming to an end of 2017, and as of right now, Bitcoin is really hot. So as a software developer, I'm quite interested in kind of seeing what the Bitcoin source code looks like. And I found out that it's actually stored on GitHub under github.com/Bitcoin/Bitcoin. And my initial impression is that I'm surprised that it was created in C++. I didn't really know what it was actually created in, but looking under the source folder, I see that there's a couple .h files, the header files, and .cpp files. And yeah, it's actually on GitHub, and it's created in C++. Just the other day when I was looking at the main page, I saw that the build the build failed. So I guess it's possible to push up code and have the build pass or have the build fail. So I don't know what that necessarily means, but yeah, it can fail. I guess the gatekeepers didn't do a good job of making sure that the code passes before getting pushed to the main master branch. Let's see. Notice there's a lot of fork off of the Bitcoin repo. As of right now, it's 13,679. I assume by forking it, you can essentially make your own variation of the Bitcoin. Star coin or whatever coin you want to make. I think that's how it works. I'm actually quite interested because as of right now, I believe, let's take a look. Under release, it's actually 0.15.1. So I'm wondering what would happen if it reaches 1.0. Does that mean that all previous version of the Bitcoin is incompatible? Because in software development, typically the first number here is the major release, and typically when you go from like a 1.0 to a 2.0, that means that it'll be not compatible with the version number prior. So I'm quite interested what happens if it reaches 1.0, but I think it'll be a long time till it happens. But yeah, in general, the code base is quite interesting. Kind of looking through and seeing what kind of things have been written into it. Nothing much I could really say about that. I'm not really a C++ developer, but looking at some of the other things, I've noticed that yeah, it gets it gets contributed pretty often. I mean, this one was contributed 7 hours ago. Over 15,000 commits, almost 16,000. Lots of contributors, a lot of forks. A lot of people are starring it. A decent amount of people are watching it. Issues is kind of interesting. Kind of just to look at some of the open issues for Bitcoin. Not that I can make much sense of it, but it was just interesting. Kind of some of the things that have been raised in the source code itself. Kind of just looking through. Not really making any speculations based off of some of the open issues, but quite interesting to kind of look through them. Now, when I go under contributors, I find out that this guy's the main guy. Man, he's definitely contributing the most into it. Taking a look at his profile a bit, I kind of visit his blog, but yeah, this guy works every day. Almost. Lots of definitely the main player in the source code community for Bitcoin, so I thought that was interesting to kind of look through. But going back, I was looking at this graph of the the code changes and looking at this website, Cointelegraph, and kind of maybe making some speculation or some sort of correlations between the price of Bitcoin and the changes in code. And this is just for fun, just some speculations, just some correlations I'm trying to make. Not nothing concrete or anything. But so yeah, let's take a look at this a little bit deeper. So I'm looking at this area here between 2011 and 2012, and I'm kind of wondering, if there's like this little spike. I see a little spike right there, and I was wondering if that has any correlation. I see like a major hump in around 2013, towards the end of 2013, and I'm wondering if this right here these two types of humps over here in the code bases have anything to do with the humps over here. Thought that was, maybe there's something there as well. I see that around right here, 2016, there's a little bump right there, small one. And I was wondering, yeah, maybe there's something going on right there as well. Obviously, Bitcoin started, ramping up in 2017, and it does look like there's a lot of activity around 2017. So, there could be something there. Probably not, but it's kind of fun just to kind of take a look and see if there's any type of correlation. If I go under, I think it's under code frequency. Yeah. So a lot of changes, a lot of deletions over here between 2014 and 2015. And it just looks like there's nothing going on here. It actually kind of went down a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe code changes contributes to the prices going down, but that's probably not necessarily true as well, because let's see, around over here end of 2016, beginning 2017, that may contribute to that little bump right there. But yeah, it was just something to look at, to see if there's any correlations between some of the code changes between Bitcoin and the code changes that's happening on GitHub. But yeah, it's quite interesting to see that it's code are getting contributed every day. Lots of contributors. It was just fascinating just to see this guy right here. Being the main player. It's in the Netherlands. He might be the gatekeeper of when people push their portions of the code, and he's the one that verifies it and then merges it to the master branch. But yeah, tons of contributors. Seems like everybody has a smaller part in it, and then there's this guy at the top that these four maybe, yeah, these 6, 8, yeah, these 8 guys doing the bulk of the work. So might be something there, might not, in terms of the correlation between Bitcoin and GitHub, but might as well bring it up to the forefront and see if anybody could make sense of it.